Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We are just cruising here. Just cruising with 44 wins in a row. Foot's 44. Todd Bertuzzi, a little bit of a controversial hockey player, but 90W7 FQH2. Look, it doesn't have to be a hockey episode, but you know, I am a fan of the Vancouver Canucks. I became a fan of the Vancouver Canucks when I moved here in 2012. You know, I don't have to answer for the crimes that were committed by the organization in the past. The sins of the father do not pass to the son. The sins of the Todd do not pass to the Elias. It's just that simple. Which is also why, like, the riot jokes. It's just the riot jokes about Vancouver just get, you know, completely neutralized based on the fact that I wasn't living here at the time. And also, because I live here, I don't want to freaking riot over hockey. Are you insane? I got, like, I own possessions here, regardless. I don't know how we got started on that. Even when the team's eliminated, still on the noggin. We did get, like, one of the best items you could conceivably get early on here. And it's not the jar, and it's not Betrayal, it's Sagittarius. I do have to tell you, before we transition off of the hockey bit, this is not even a hockey bit, it's only tangentially related. But I remembered, I was talking to Mouth a little earlier today, and it jogged my memory that last night I had a dream that a Canucks player by the name of Jake Virtanen, for some reason, came to live with me in the off-season. I don't know what it was, like a kind of like a rehab community living situation. And he's you know, a divisive player in the Canucks fan base. Shows up to training camp, maybe you're not in the best shape, maybe not necessarily the best attitude every time. And also kind of got put on blast by the media this year for, like, posting a picture, you know, post-COVID of being inside of a nightclub. So, you know, there's, he's a controversial player. But he came to live with me in the summer for some reason, and as soon as he showed up, I gave him a lecture. I said, Jake, as long as you're staying under my roof, you're training, you're practicing, but there's no drama, there's no partying. I don't know, it's like my dad instincts are coming in a little early or something. It's a very funny dream. We will be leaving this floor with actually, like, disgustingly good stats, and I gotta tell you, we gotta look up a hockey player whose number is 45. Because this one is very, very good early on here. Hard to imagine a situation where this ends with us being disappointed. I can't, you know, predict the future, but at the same time, I'm definitely, like, we seem to be under control right now. Regardless, what's going on? Well, today is Friday. It's going to be a weird Friday for sure. Normally, Fridays are YouTube only, or at least YouTube focused. Today, that's not going to be the case. Yo, does this shadow tell us where the secret room is? It does not. Just checking to see if there's tinted rocks. There are, but we have to fly to get them. You know what? I'm going to check this curse room really quick. I'm not too worried about my deal with the devil setup right now. I'm feeling pretty strong about it. All too easy. It's going to be a weird Friday because from roughly 1 to 4, we're going to be rolling Twitch Rivals for Fall Guys. Everybody's pretty pogged up for sure. It's a weird event because this is the first time I've ever competed in, like, a pseudo esports event with Team Unity, where I genuinely feel like we have a chance at doing well. You know, I would never suggest that an easy win is in the cards. I'll talk about doing the little things right. How about that one right there? I would never suggest an easy win is in the cards. But this is like, when we play Warzone in, like, not a Rivals, but in that charity tournament we played in, we were like, yo, we're gonna get bodied. There's genuine pros playing the game, and then also streamers who are very good, and we're just kind of like, we're streamers who are not bad necessarily, but, you know, maybe being, like, around above average compared to the average Call of Duty player, if we're being flattering to ourselves, is not good enough to really impress. But it was still a fun thing to be a part of. This is one where I'm like, dude, we got a shot. Oh, they pushed me into it, dude. It's the first time these guys have ever inconvenienced me at all. But I think that the downside is, and we're just taking some dumb damage for no reason here, and maybe it's not a downside in a true sense, but we will take. But we're not going to be too aggressive about anything else here. I think everybody that competes, like if you stream 3 hours of Fall Guys here and there, like, you have to be pretty good. The skill floor in Fall Guys is pretty low. So I'm thinking that it's, you know, everybody involved in the tournament has a chance to do pretty well is my expectation, but you never know, dude. You never know. Either way, it's not even about how well you do. It's about, you know, how much entertainment you can provide for the little Hulkamaniacs out there. Give people something to pog up about on a Friday afternoon. Normally Fridays are so dour. People are always like, oh, Friday. Unless you're talking about Spider-Man's assistant, in which case you go, Poggy Friday. Anyway, I'm excited. I am excited for it. It's gonna be a fun time. Regardless, it's one of those things where you're like, you know, I do see people in the... I think, let me put it this way. I don't want this to reflect poorly on other content creators, because by saying that unprompted, it actually reflects poorly on me to begin with. But I do see people that are like, you know, in the organizational channels, they're like asking about, you know, like what happens if there's hackers, you know, what do we do if we keep getting stream sniped? And I'm like, you know, here's the thing. I'm not saying it's not going to be annoying if it happens, but just, you know, focus on the entertainment value, you know? Well, that's an unfortunate spend, followed by Malware Bytes serving me an advertisement to see if I want to pick up premium. Sure, why not? Just add another monthly subscription cost to the list. Suppose it's probably good to have some kind of... you know, premium. Well, I don't know if it's good to have a premium malware system. What do people use these days anyway? I don't know. Windows Defender? Is Windows Defender not adequate anymore? Regardless, I'm like, you know, it's not about winning and losing. Here's the thing, you know. Rivals is not run through like a special proprietary software. You can set up private matches of Fall Guys and have it be like a perfectly balanced competition. The competition is going to have a little clumped unfairness, and sometimes the unfairness is going to benefit you, and sometimes it's going to benefit other people. You know, you're responsible. Everybody's getting, you know, some prize money for showing up to begin with. Just try to make it entertaining. Try to make it as you know, try your hardest, but try to make it as entertaining as possible. That's my easy philosophy for this situation. There is a hacker problem in Fall Guys. I ain't sweating. You got mad weapons? Ain't trying to hear that. Trying to bring down me, the champion, when y'all clowns can't see that it can't be done. Understand me, son. I'm the slickest there is. I'm the quickest there is. Did I say I'm the slickest there is? Get me out of here. By the way, no, we are not going to use the D-Infinity. Look, we got Zane potential here right out the bat. Like, Mega is already zany in and of itself. Help. We're okay. We're okay. Just got to keep this one, like, on the level. It's an extremely good run. Hey, this is a nice room. Looks a little familiar. But a nice room nonetheless. I think we should enter this room. Okay, what a shot. Honestly, just, you can't really complain about that one. He caught me napping. And we'll just get the heck out of town. I would like to purchase one Spirit Heart, please, without a Spirit Heart being available. We will instead hurt our donation machine, but that's okay because we'll pay it forward later. Like that movie with Haley Joel Osment, Helen Hunt, and nobody else. I believe that the male adult lead in that movie was Hatsune Miku, if I remember correctly. Oh, my deal with the devil chance, but also Gimpy kind of hooked me up. That's a little bit of a deep cut joke, by the way. You know, the joke is that, you know, when people get canceled, if you want to continue to enjoy the media that they were a part of unproblematically, you say that, you know, Hatsune Miku played Frank Underwood. Not that Frank Underwood was in Pay It Forward, but you know what I mean? I think you could pick up on where this is going by now. You could also say, hey, why not just continue to enjoy it nonetheless, because you didn't know those things then that you know now. To which, you know, I go, hey, on the internet, like, sometimes you gotta do a little extra legwork to figure out, you know, via inference, what's a joke and what's not a joke. Saying that Hatsune Miku has replaced Kevin Spacey in all of the parts in all of his films is definitely a joke. And I would say, like, on that one, I will not even apologize, because it's like, you know, if you don't find the innate humor in suggesting that, you know, Kevin Spacey is replaced with a Japanese Vocaloid musician with blue hair and pigtails, I don't know what to tell you, because it's, you know, your sense of humor called, it's lost, and the ocean's running out of shrimp. That one might be real, though. Let's not joke about that. Dude, I was watching an episode of Chef's Table Barbecue, okay? Now, the show itself was secondary. It's ancillary to the point I'm going to make here. And, I mean, I can't even remember the last time I used Aerowalk effectively, but... So, it showed... It's a good show. It's very artfully shot, without a doubt. Oh, good. Guppy's hairball. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. It's very artfully shot. It's very interesting. It's not merely like, hey, we're cooking things. It's like, you know, it's more about almost, you know, the human stories behind the people who run these restaurants. And that makes it interesting as like a human interest, like People of New York style, or Humans of New York style thing. But they showed a dude, and he was like fishing for prawns in Australia. So he gets on like a trawler. They throw out a net. When they pull the net in, it's just like pure prawns. How do they do that? Like, oh, you son of a gun. How dare you? I think there's a couple of options here, okay? So, like, here's what I'm thinking. One is the net, and I'm not doing this in order of plausibility, just for the record. Dude, we just gotta chill. This sucks. Yeah, this blows. That was nasty. Okay, oh God. Let me out. This run is spicier than it should be, but it's okay. So one is they've designed a net that exclusively picks up prawns. It ignores fish and other debris that one might find in the ocean. That seems implausible to me, but maybe there is something that does it. Maybe it's like they put a prawn bait in it that only prawns like to eat or something. The other one is that, like, maybe, oh God. Oh God. Such a hazardous series of floors here. Maybe for the video, they, like, cleaned the net in order to make sure that only prawns were in the net so the viewer doesn't get confused. I know that's going to be like the innate response as the most likely option from cynics everywhere, but I kind of feel like it's not the case. This show shows like some relatively like raw stuff, and it expects perhaps not a degree of intelligence out of its viewer, but a degree of patience that would seem to indicate you know, that they're a little bit maybe on the more mature side and able to be like, well, you said you were fishing for prawns, but there's seaweed in there. What gives? You know? I don't know. Fishing's kind of interesting to me. I have fished a decent amount in my life, but not for like the last literally like 15 years. I used to fish with my grandparents prodigiously, but you know, as times have gotten, I mean, they're, you know, one of them's still alive. I'm just saying, you know, haven't been doing much fishing lately. Regardless, I never, I think as a child, I didn't appreciate fishing at all. You know, you're out there, you're sitting on a boat in the hot summer sun. It's humid. You got, you know, dragonflies flying all around you. You got mosquitoes trying to bite you, and succeeding quite often. And then, like, it's boring to some degree, right? I mean, even if you like fishing, I think you can understand why a child would find it boring. There's no flashing lights. I mean, there's no Mega Man X. Let's put it that way, right? I think we just want spirit hearts here. I think I would appreciate it much more as an adult. Because, like, I've been telling people, like, when I get older, I really want to, like, get into golf. Golf seems... I can understand... I understand the social, you know, issues that people have with golf that... Or even the environmental issues that people have with golf. I'm just talking from, like, an abstract sport issue. I'm like, dude... Seems like an ideal sport to be, like, a middle-aged person and enjoy. Not... You can enjoy it when you're young, too, don't get me wrong. I just, you know, wasn't part of that sort of... I guess it wasn't part of the culture back then, you know? I did play a little bit of tennis. But tennis, like, don't get me wrong, I like tennis. I like all of the racket sports. But I think I'm more of a club sports guy. Sorry, I just got distracted because, you know, as often I have Twitter open in the background. And, you know, I've talked, and this is, it's a rough comment to bring up because it is well-meaning, but it also just highlights sometimes, perhaps, some of the frustrations that I have with being a content creator. Not in a negative way, to be honest, but just to illuminate. So, you know, we got the Twitch Rivals today. Apollo sends us a message in the AM. He says, sorry guys, I'm really sick. I don't think I can do Rivals today. Can you get a replacement? Like, can you get Justin to replace? And we're like, yeah, no problem. You know, S happens. You know, that's life. I'm not gonna be like, no, you can't be sick. You know, just play through it. Don't you remember Michael Jordan's flu game? So, you know, I organize, you know, I talked to Justin. I went, Justin, are you cool with this? He's like, yeah, I got to move some stuff around, but I'm cool with it. And I said, okay, if you're cool with it, can you leave a message in the Rivals Discord? And then I'll confirm the message with the administrators to make sure that you're good. Got it all set up? No problem. However, I've just received a tweet from someone who may be watching this and is probably a fan, but it's just like, you know, when I say... that sometimes being a streamer is like having a lot of moms. Like, one mom is sick. 2 moms might even be sweet. But if you had like 20 moms that were texting you all the time, like, hey, did you renew your life insurance? You'd be like, I did it. You know? I got a tweet from somebody that, to be honest, I do not know. That says, I just heard in the Discord that Apollo's sick and Justin's replacing. Have you talked to the administrators about it yet? And I'm like... You know what, brother? You just enjoy your day. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'm an adult. You don't need the babysit. Don't worry about it. I washed the hands after I used the bathroom this morning. I paid my bills on time. Right after I cooked last night, I did the dishes, which is a nice habit to get in the habit of. You don't have to worry. And it's hard to explain because it makes me seem like I'm entitled. I don't care for the... you know, the replies, and I take it for granted. It's really not that. It's more just like, I mean, you would get annoyed too, to be honest. And the worst part is that just by saying this, people will be like, well, you didn't let the organizers know early, and that's why I'm concerned. And that's not the case at all. I let the organizers know. It's just that they were a little, and I'm not besmirching the organizers, they didn't respond to the messages as fast as some of the people in Team Unity would like to, and then people were like, did you? And I'm like, I did. I got it all hooked up. It's the... Whenever you, like, put the wrong thumbnail on an episode or something, and you get, 500 comments that are like, just so you know, it's the wrong thumbnail. That's actually, like, an even... That situation is way more defensible and makes me look even worse. Because of the fact that, you know, it's a mistake that can be corrected. This one that's like, hey, just... I mean, I guess what the assumption is that's annoying is like, hey, you can't handle, like, this aspect organizationally of your own life, so a perfect stranger who's never met you before is gonna be like... Hey, I know your, like, life is in shambles, so just make sure you know, continue to breathe oxygen today. And I'm like, don't worry, I got it. You know, I'm not like Philippa Sue playing Eliza Schuyler. I'm not helpless or down for the count and drowning in it. You don't have to worry about it, okay? Now, it's not the community's fault in this situation. It's not even the, you know, it's a very light social slight is what I would describe it as. But then, you know, and I'm not like community burnt out right now. I'm just, again, it's a timely thing to illustrate that sometimes you're like, even well-meaning replies, a deluge of them can be a little frustrating from time to time. That's it. I'm not asking for an apology. I don't think an apology is warranted. I'm not asking for a recompense. I'm just asking for understanding. This is a bit of a strange one, but guess what? We actually are going to do boss rush. Because I think that Infestation 2 is worth it, and in all likelihood, though it will take... Oh, you are not my friend. That's going to hurt. Mega is actually going to be super sick at allowing us to not take any more damage here. Look, it's looking pretty bad right now. I would never deny that. But it will change. We will get it sorted. This is a tough one. We kind of gotta keep like both enemies on the screen at all times. But I guess this is better because we'd rather, if we're gonna get hit, we would rather have the Haunt still remain. Because the Haunt with their laser beam can hit the cage. I'm telling you, once we get Mega, this thing's all gonna fall into place, dude. So, you might be wondering... Oh, that was close. You might be wondering what the heck happened, NL. This run, it looks so good, and now things are kind of falling apart. I don't know if I'd say they're falling apart. Again, we would like to keep the laser beam unit alive. I don't know if I'd say they're falling apart. What I would say, as my voice cracks with uncertainty, is... this is a good illumination for us that to be honest with you, our actual DPS relative to the bosses we could be facing right now is pretty bad. So certainly, probably a good indicator that we should not be overly cocky on this one. But I'll tell you, I don't believe at all that... playing boss rush is overly cocky here. If anything, it's a means for us to get an item that's really going to amp up our ability to do damage at relatively, in my opinion, low risk. Plus, the other thing is, and I'm not trying to be bitter about it, the other thing is, though, we would expect at some point Gimpy would have perhaps provided us with, you know, some extra red hearts. It's the death animations that are crushing us here, but, you know, we do have... bunch of sacks that I was really hoping were gonna maybe have a single battery charge in it. But look at that, we got some HP anyway. I don't regret this decision. And that's not just a defense mechanism. I guess here's where I get at it from. For the most part, I don't, because we got a lot of time to talk about it. I don't want to belabor the point, but we're already on it. When people backseat me in games, you know, I have a varied degree of acceptance for it. Most of the time, I'm relatively okay with it, especially situations where like, I don't know where I'm going. Which happens, like, a lot. So when I'm, like, playing a game and people are like, hey, you gotta use your shield to block the hits, I'm like, yeah, I know. When they're like, hey, you know, you gotta go up this ladder and then turn 35 degrees to your right, walk for, you know, a quarter mile, and then you're there, I'm like, you're God's gift to this community. Thank you so much for your help. I couldn't have done it without you. When people start to backseat, like, my real life, where things are actually, like, I got it under control, like, that's kind of my area of expertise, to be honest. It makes me feel like you have a low opinion of me as a human being because of the fact that I'm, like, you know, I mean... I'm not that good at games. I promise you I'm good at something. This is it, dude. Hey, don't have me step on you. God, I wish that were me. Dude, so that one rock is just doing a staggering amount of work. I can't get to you because of that one rock. Who would have thought? Do you regret it now? No, if anything, I actually regret it less now because, like, Gimpy has actually paid out with a bunch of half red hearts. So, you know, there was a period where it seemed like death was plausible, but now that period has passed, thankfully. Okay, and we're done. We get Unicorn Horn, which is essentially worth nothing, but we'll head down to our next floor. I'm feeling good, dude. I know that looked pretty not great, but I think we're actually, like... I mean, we're way better off now with Infestation 2. What did we lose in the process? Like 2 Spirit Hearts? Functionally? Big whoop. Big whoop, dude. Okay, I hate that. We don't need the half red heart yet, probably. I would like to not eat my words. You know what? Just one more room. Just one more room. That's all I ask. Just... Well, we got it. Fortunately, that one more room didn't have any enemies in it. That is a cursed chest. We will not open that. Again, might seem touchy. It's touchier than it could be. But we should be totally... Oh my god, you hit me so quickly. We should be more than totally fine. Now, it would slap to a large degree to get a 9% deal with the devil, though the odds of this are quite, I mean, they're 9%. But, you know, 9% seems pretty low, but then you conceive of it, you know, it's 1 in 11. It doesn't functionally change how likely it is, but in terms of conceptualization, I think it changes it a little bit. Like, Justin asked the question on his stream yesterday, and I was like, if you don't know Justin, by the way, twitch.tv/HCJustin, what I'll say about Justin... A, very entertaining, without a doubt. But B, he has, like, the most indefatigable... Is that a real word? Indefatigable definition. Nope, that's individual. Indefatigable. Persisting tirelessly. Yes, that's what I was looking for. He has the most limitless positivity. And what's weird is that he's kind of a cynic, but he maintains his good mood and vibes at all times. It's something I'm very impressed with, and would love to, you know, take some influence from myself, but can't seem to keep it moving. It's just not in character for me. But anyway, he asked the question on his stream yesterday and was like, if you could eat the most delicious food in the world, but there was a 1 in 1 million chance it would kill you, would you eat it? And my initial thought was no. Because why would I do anything that, you know, delicious food, sure, it could be an awesome experience. I'm not saying food can't be insanely delicious. Because, I mean, we've all experienced the Doritos Tacos Locos. However, I was definitely also like, you know, why? I'll just eat like a granola bar and not suffer the risk. Then I thought about it a little bit more, and I started to conceive of like a couple of different thought experiments to maybe perceive it a little bit more, you know, because like really, if you hear like chance of death, you're like, oh, the odds have got to be low, otherwise I'm not going to do it. Then I was like, you know, how many days does the average human live for? I don't know, like roughly maybe like, let's just say everybody lives to 100. That would be, we do want that tinted rock, don't forget about that. Obviously, that's not the case, but this, you know, for back of the napkin calculations, it's okay. So that if you live to be 100, you live for about 365 days times 100, which is 36,500. Okay, so 36,500. What do you have to multiply that by to get to 1 million? And I was like, well, that one took a little bit more work, to be honest. I think it's 30, all right? So basically, in order to get to 1 million times, and I know this is not how probability necessarily works, we're just thinking about it, but in order to get to 1 million consumptions, you would have to eat the food 30 times a day. So really, your odds of dying, if you ate this food 30 times a day for all 100 years straight of your life, you would expect, on average, with a large enough sample size, that one of them would be lethally poisonous. I think when you conceive of it in that sense, you're like, you know what? That is insanely low odds, right? I'm just doing the math. I'm like, yeah, that it checks out. Spirit hearts, please. So in that, I was like, you know what? In that sense, I think I would actually eat the food. Because I think probably right now, on the average day, I probably do things that have a 1 million chance of death regardless. You just don't realize it. And they're, like, surely they're not as good as eating the most delicious food, right? Like, I don't know. There's probably a more than... I mean, I would say definitely there's a more than 1 in 1 million chance of you... like, falling in the shower and suffering serious injury. Now, maybe showering is more useful than eating the most delicious food. But it's not like you're showering once. You're showering, you know, once a day. And we don't need to get into that discussion, but that's my level. Okay, getting hit twice there was pretty bad. There goes our deal with the devil. Thank God, actually, that we got Mega, dude, because, I don't know. This run, like, petered out somewhat. For sure. But, I mean, that's just, you know, it helps to conceive of it like that. And then, you know, one of the other people in the call, I forget who, I'm not trying to just, you know, avoid their name, was like, well, what if you were in a room with 1 million plates of the food, and you knew one of the plates was lethal? How many plates would you eat, or would you even eat any plates? And I was like, dude... I can't even conceive of the size of a room that would have 1 million plates sitting in it. So I'm pretty sure I would definitely be like I would be slightly apprehensive, but it wouldn't be apprehensive because of the risk. Oh my Lanta. I would be apprehensive because I knew the risk. Whereas many of the things that we do every day, we're probably like either numb to the risk of and don't consider it, or just completely unaware that it's even slightly dangerous to begin with. Oh, I almost got hit again, dude. This is getting a little spooky. We have so much luck. I know if we make it to the chest, we got like really good optics on this run. I mean, you gotta try, right? You gotta try, even if you only get like a couple of seconds of it. It's gonna be a pretty long fight here. Really? Really? It's okay. Next step, things are getting a little bit more complicated. This is where you hit the point in the run where you start to be like, you know what would have been nice? If the Fallen didn't give us, hold on, I felt my blood pressure spike temporarily. Would have been nice if the Fallen didn't give us Guppy's head, or Guppy's hairball. Oh, I don't like being trapped on this side of the fence here, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Would have been nice if, you know, we'd gotten maybe 1 damage upgrade after the first floor. I mean, if you want to count the Halo, Be My Guest. Great song by Beyonce, but not necessarily like the be-all, end-all as far as good items go. Now, the other thing is, it would be nice if we just didn't take any more damage over the course of this fight, which is actually, like, completely conceivable. And I'm very happy with where we stand there. I don't know what I want that to be. That's probably the best, because we were gonna not carry it down with us in all likelihood, because the world card is so much more valuable. That scared the crap out of me. I'm not gonna deny that. I was like, this is pretty bad. So we got enough bombs, and we don't use bombs for much later, so it does make sense to search for a second secret room. Normally, again, this is an example of doing the little things right, because we definitely want a second secret room in order to get maybe some red hearts. It's one of the most common second secret rooms. Also, one of the most annoying second secret rooms. Okay, it not being there, I'm now like, I don't know. I don't know where you go on that one then. Was there a tinted rock back here, though? No, there was a chest that we don't want to open. I might just fish for a regular secret room while we're here. But we really It's not like we don't want to spend the bombs. It's more like, you know, the odds of them actually giving us anything are pretty low now. Alright. Well, believe it or not, I'm actually, like, really stoked with where we stand here. I think it's way more, concerning than I would like it to be, but I'm still more than cautiously optimistic. So I love all this, don't get me wrong. I would prefer to have, HP of any sort. But, you know, piercing, holy light shots with and you're seeing the value of Gimpy right now. With Gimpy, you know, lots of damage, Mega's coming out soon. This is, the Gimpy payout is actually, like, is gonna be the difference maker, I think. We've gone from, like, actually, like, at mortal risk of injury to just being, like, pretty good, dude. And every enemy we kill is going to give us a good chance to kind of extend that just a little bit further. But, you know, it just goes to show you that there was a little cockiness early. And the cockiness, I mean, I wouldn't even call it cockiness. It was a deserved amount of confidence with the items that we'd gotten. We didn't expect, and the deceptive thing is that the items we got on the rest of the run are not even that bad. But, the deceptive thing is that what I was going to say is, you don't know how many other damage upgrades you're going to get. So, I mean, there's this tendency, I think, to be like, well, it's just going to keep getting better. And really, our damage stayed at a pretty similar level for, like, the remainder of the game. I think we should definitely do this. I was hemming and hawing, for sure. Let me out, please. But I was like, you know, would I rather have Mega for like 4 rooms in advance of the boss or for the boss? I would rather have it for the boss. And I chose not to get the Spirit Heart to get whatever damage we could there. You know, we could debate till the cows come home if that's the right way to do it. The thing is, it only matters if it matters. And I don't even think it's going to come close to mattering. Thank you, Dry Baby. Thing is, you know, rate of fire is king. But you never want to be stuck on 4.6 damage by the time you get down to the chest. That's just, you know, I'll say it, that's bad eats. Shouldn't have stood there, but we are set here. Alright, well, some brief moments of potential myocardial infarction, but there you go. We've made it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!